Hey you, so in this video, 2020 worst year for stacking gold and silver, I'm going to be going over just that. So before I get into this, if you haven't done so already, you like what you hear /see, please do go ahead and like and subscribe. So I'm just going to be going over just my own personal experiences, thoughts and feelings about 2020 as opposed to, I'd say, the past 6 years release of this video. And how I believe it's been the worst year for myself when it's come to stacking gold and silver, and just give a few points as to why that is. And we'll break straight into this, but before we start, once again, let me know how 2020 is going for you. Has it been everything you expect? Is it business as usual? Or let me know if you've got any positives or negatives when it comes to 2020 as a stacking as a whole. Now, I'm not saying, especially for all the new stackers out there, it's 2020, steer clear, don't pick up nothing. I'm just putting it against the years previous for me or prior. So, it's going to be, since I've been stacking or documenting on YouTube, I would say it's easily the worst year to date. As of time of releasing this, I believe we're in the 6th month of 2020. So we haven't even completed 2020, but I'll also get into some more deeper ins and outs of 2020. So I've got these two sets here, gold and silver, two very lovely sets I thought I'd pick out and go through these as we go in. So I would say what's made 2020 a horrible year for stacking gold and silver for me. First off, I would say the prices. No surprise there. I'm always asked, is it a good time to jump in or not? And if you don't have nothing or you're just starting, I've done purchases, but it's different to previous years when I say the prices. Whereas, previous years we've had highs, we've had lows, but we haven't had a lot of the skullduggery that's come with that. So, we've had dips and we've had highs. That's how it is normally, I would say. And of course, what's going to really double down on 2020 being so horrible is going to be the big C. We've got the big pandemic, COVID-19 going on out there, and it's just made everything horrible. So that's going to be playing a major role as to why it's so bad. And the prices on two counts, because I had a lot planned for 2020, even though I did have 2020 penned down for being a catalyst year. If anything, it was going to really kick off. But the way things were going and the way, any moment now, any time now, even I was starting to second guess myself. But it came through, 2020 delivered, and we are where we are right now. And I say price-wise because I had a lot in other markets also, crypto-wise. So, I intended to do a lot with that and really go in hard and get my gold bag really up. But it's kind of at the moment, so I'm having to play both sides, extremely strategic. And, I just wish the prices were lower, long story short. So the prices are definitely getting in my way for 2020. There'll be small purchases every now and then if I see something I like, if I see a decent price for what's going on out there. I have seen that spot prices, time for releasing this, currently around £1,425 sterling. I'd say $1,700. So if I can get anything closest to that, and I think it's a decent coin. I'm looking for the Queen's Beast in standard gold bullion. So, I'm just focusing on gold at the moment, then I'd most definitely lock in on that. But other than that, price-wise, this has been a real bummer for me for 2020, even liquidating. I've liquidated a lot of silver a lot of this madness that's going on. But a lot of the times when I'm coming out of one, I want to jump into the other. So I would rather a lot of stuff dump than liquidate some of the more stronger, even some gold pieces. So I can pick up a lot more on the bottom. So that's definitely going to be one of the major bummers for 2020 for me, and why I'm looking at it like it's just a horrible year. And that's going to be number one, my first point of why I think 2020 is a terrible year for gold and silver. Second, I would say 2020 has been very bad for me is that I would say revelations. I've come to see a lot, especially with silver in 2020 specifically. And, it would boil mainly down to what they are, i.e. gold and silver, and how they're seen. With a lot going on, a lot of dealers, tightening up their purses and, free market being called out. I wouldn't be the only one screaming this out. There was most definitely a lot of skullduggery going on with some dealers. But it was interesting to see what they wanted, what they didn't deem worth putting an offer out there for, and ultimately what I was stuck with or looking at and thinking, interesting. A lot of revelations I've come across regarding gold and silver, especially in times like this, and everybody is going to look at it differently. Everybody's going to be passionate about whatever they're passionate about, but one thing I do is take opportunities like this to see how well they're performing. So you could call it what do they call it? When you do a fire drill. And I did put a lot of feelers out there. I did contact a lot of dealers. And this is when I say revelations, it's mainly through seeing how well it would perform in the current times. And a lot came to light for myself. So if anything, 2020 has also been the year of revelations for myself, where seeing how they are viewed and understanding what they are. A lot of times when I say what they are, I don't know. I've made the mistake in thinking, you can get into gold and silver, for instance, and be, what are you? Like one of my previous videos, are you a stacker? Are you a flipper? Are you preserving wealth? We'll get into the collector coins, and before you know it, you'll be saying to yourself, I picked up these coins and I flipped them, and it went on to do whatever you went on to do with it. But technically, what you was doing there is damn near trading. And yes, it is, but you can get lost sometimes when you're looking at your stack and not knowing what it is exactly that you're doing. You could be looking at your stack and thinking, well, it's worth this, and when I flip this, and before you know it, a large portion of your stack is more collector orientated. So what they are, that's what I mean by what they are. So revelations and just understanding. I've always labeled myself the cowboy, but looking at my stack, I don't want my stack to look like it was placed and penned down by a cowboy. I want to have a lot more organization and order to my stack. So I would say that's been and it's lent more towards the negative side, I would say, and mainly for silver, but I've done videos on that in the past. So that's for 2020. And big shout out to all of those that absolutely adore, love, and are very passionate about it. We're all going to come across our own experiences and our own passions at different times. Let's just hope at any time nobody needs to liquidate as they're in a pinch, because I've seen it over and over again. You end up on the dark side, basically. No one wants to be that incredible Hulk stacker. So a next one that I would say that's made 2020 a bad year for stacking gold and silver has been its Black Swan performance. Now, I've been talking with a lot of people about this, and it's basically saying, look, here we are. We've had this big crash. Jobs are being, it's basically fire and brimstone outside. Jobs are just being obliterated, and yet gold and silver are still doing what they're doing. Not saying they've done bad. Gold, give or take a couple $100, £100+ silver, I don't know, damn near not even a $10 or £10 above what it was this time last year. So it's like, you can go into a different market and you'll see that on a bad day. Now, of course, you don't hold it, you don't own it. Those markets are manipulated, yada, 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 yada. I don't know what that goes with it, but once again, you look at some people and they do view their stack like that. They want to see some type of real price action when you've got the skies falling down around you. The Black Swan event is once again the big C. And what I've said and put out there is that I don't believe now is the actual time, like as in right now, we're going to be seeing the true price action. But I've penned to the end of the year. So I've said, look, at the end of the year, we should get some type of indication to where, one, the markets will be, and two, where gold and silver should be. A good, strong indication, because it's normally towards the tail end of the year that, markets really poop their pants, whether it's the crypto market, the stock market, or maybe the gold and silver market. Everything tanks together, but what bounces back up and really shows its true potential, who knows? But nevertheless, I can totally understand where people are coming from when they're saying, is this it? I've had messages from people that was ready to sell, absolutely cash out, because they believed all the hype. And, you look on the news and it's doom and gloom already. It's penned for a depression, yet gold and silver have barely done anything fantastic. Yes, we've seen all-time highs in pound sterling, but other than that, it's business as usual. So, the Black Swan performance is definitely pushed out there, and seeing where they are right now, once again, it's a negative towards 2020, because now's the time. So I would say last would be, right now I would say it's lacklustering. So I would say gold and silver are lacklustered, and I think that's the perfect word for myself. It's just, not shining, dull, uninspiring right now. And that's just for myself. Everybody's going to be having their own experience right now. As mentioned, shout out to all those that are absolutely in love with their silver right now. I'm loving it. Da, 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 da. Everybody's going to be having their own experiences. I've been in this for a long time. And people have mentioned in the past, Shadow's getting weak hands. He's got wobbly knees, he's about to go down. I wouldn't say that's the case. I'm just looking at it realistically, and especially as I'm involved in other markets, I'm in this for the long term. So it could just be somewhat of a mild rant that I'm having right now, a very, very mild rant. I could be part of the crowd that expected a lot more right now, but I'm not seeing it right now. But it's definitely something that's come across my mind, make stacking great again. It's just not what it once was. And there's many things that contribute towards me feeling like that. And it's going to be a combination of the dealers coming in and ruining the collector coin market, I would basically say. Just seeing a lot of the skullduggery that a lot of the dealers have been doing. Just the absolute bombardment of new collector coins that's destroyed that. Because, I mean, for myself, if it's not pure foundation, which is very mundane, just some Britannia, Wool and Eagle, Britannia, Wool and Maple. You get the collector coin stuff, which you're not supposed to if you're stacking, unless you're a raw collector, and it spices things up, and then you do what you're not supposed to do. Technically become a trader / cowboy flipper, and then it makes it fun. But then once that arena's corrupted, it takes away the fun. Then you're left with competing with not even other sellers, just dealers that are now the first-hand dealers and the second-hand dealers. And just the whole environment right now with not being able to get price hikes, the actual metal shortage all compounds, and it leaves me just feeling lackluster at the moment. And so that's where I am. So all of those combined right now make me say 2020 is the worst year for stacking gold and silver for now. I'm most definitely going long. It's most definitely just a phase. It could just be one of those things, that time of the month for me, who knows. But let me know how 2020 is going for you stacking gold and silver right now. Do you think things are going to turn up? Or do you think things are going to get worse? Do you think we are seeing everything we're going to be seeing right now? i.e. prices won't do much more from here. The economy is going to go up. It will be a V or whatever shape type we're going to get. Let me know down below in the comments. So I'm going to wrap this one up. So please do go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also like if you haven't done so already. And I'll catch you guys on the rebound.